Hello, Super Smash Bros. Fans, and welcome to Games Radar's Super Smash Bros. Wii U Weekly. I'm Hollander Cooper, and here with me is
Henry Gilbert.
And we have an awesome show for you today. Last week we went over Mega Man. This week we're not going to just do characters every week, you guys. We have some other awesome plans. This week we're going to discuss the differences between the 3DS and the Wii U one. And for the sake of making this easier on myself and Henry and you, we're just going to simplify things. I'm going to take the part of the 3DS Smash Brothers, so... Oh, cool, it worked. And Henry...
Well, I'm going to be the Wii U. Is that it?
I don't really know what you expected
Yeah, I guess so.
to happen there, but there are some cool changes. Most noteworthy at a glance is this. The color aesthetic changes. So the Smash Brothers on the 3DS, obviously it's on a smaller screen, and that camera is going to pull way back just like it does on the other version. And in order to make that work, they're putting outlines around the characters. In practice, it looks really cool. It makes it easier to see what the characters are. They all have just like a thin black line around them, and at a glance, it's going to make it a lot easier to know who your character is, where they are on the screen, and who is currently punching you in the face.
Yeah, well, meanwhile, on the Wii U, they're a lot more focused on just primary colors and the brightness of the visuals. The character lines are gone, but I mean, they have new HD visuals to work with, so it totally makes sense.
Yeah, and they're doing this thing where, like, when they swing through the air...
Yeah, you see a lot more lines of motion in the air when you like swing
just
through.
Slicing through the air like crazy. But that's not the only change. I mean, I thought at first that was going to be the only change, but it turns out the levels are different too. On the 3DS version, the levels are focused on handheld games, and that may sound weird because if you look at the levels, there's an Ocarina of Time level, which is Gerudo Valley, which is actually technically Ocarina of Time was a console game, but they're referencing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. And there's also a level based on Donkey Kong Country Returns, because that recently got a 3D level. And there's a... what else was there? There was a Fire Emblem one that takes place in like a Coliseum.
Yeah, they didn't name that one, but definitely it's a Fire Emblem.
It looks super Fire Emblem-like.
And there's the train tracks one.
Oh yeah, and that makes me think, and we can talk about this later, but there's the train tracks from Spirit Tracks, and it has Toon Link on the train, which makes me think that Toon Link is not going to be a playable character. But we'll get to that another episode. You have to stay for that one. We have several other blind, based on nothing, speculative guesses. But so in other words, I mean, there's probably going to be some shared levels, but the 3DS one is focusing on handheld games. Yeah,
so that frees up the Wii U to have a bunch of ones specifically focused on console games, because it would look weird if you had a Nintendo stage on the Wii U one. So instead, you've got a Wii Fit stage with like the reflective mirror that looks like the training area. You have a Animal Crossing stage, which looks more like the Wild World.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. It's like a flat level.
Yeah. And then Skyward Sword, where it's the floating cities of Skyward Sword in the air. And then there's also the Mega Man centric stage of Wily's Fortress, where we talked about it last week, the flash of Yellow Devil in there. And so
the games are going to be connected. That has been confirmed in some of the videos they released, but no crossplay. You can't play between them.
That I was really disappointed to see, because I thought Nintendo needed. They've got competition now, at least with All-Star Battle Royale. I know. But for all the complaints you can make about it, someone on the Vita can play against someone on the PS3.
That's not a problem. It's a fine game.
Yeah. So it seemed weird to me that they were going to keep that separate.
Yeah, but they said that they are going to have some connected features. So you're going to be able to play on the 3DS version. You're going to be able to, in some way, customize your character in some way that doesn't involve their visuals, or at least they said costumes.
Yeah, they said no costumes.
So you're gonna customize your characters in some way that's not costumes and it's not some repetitive task, and then you'll be able to bring that over to the Wii U one. They said that it's going to be like the handheld one is your private thing, whereas the Wii U one is like the public arena. And we have some guesses, but we really don't know what that means.
Yeah, well, first off, I'm surprised they're shying away from costumes, because that's where it's at now. Alternate costumes, the Street Fighter games recently, they got a lot of mileage out of the different costumes they could sell people. Imagine how much money Nintendo would make.
Maybe they want to sell them to you. They don't want you to do it yourself.
Because I was really for example, with Brawl, I was a little annoyed they got rid of the Dr. Mario character. Even if he would have played differently, not played differently from Mario, if it had just given the Dr. Mario costume to Mario, I'd have been happy, So I'm confused about that. I'm wondering if they'll go with like a something like the Jewel system that they tried in Street Fighter Cross.
Yeah, that's my first guess. Or like the Jewel system, or like in League of Legends, you have rune pages, which is just a bunch of small passive buffs. But Street Fighter Cross Tekken tried that with the Jewel system, where you could just give a bunch of bonuses to your character by like slotting in these jewels, and it didn't work because within like 30 seconds, everyone just cracked the code and figured out what the best one is. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that's not what it is. I have no idea what else it could be, though.
No, I don't know either, but they've already taught, like, Sakurai's been saying in interviews and stuff that were coming out of E3 that they're having hard enough balance issues as it is.
Right.
Like, to add that level of customization, like, that would mess with his beloved balance.
Yeah, maybe it's taunts. Maybe since he said it's not costumes, maybe it's like Mario's fireball can have a different effect on it. Maybe different things like that. Jeez, Henry, are you okay?
All right, I'm good. I'm better.
Wow.
I'm better.
All right, one player down. But that's it for the differences we know about so far. But we would like to introduce a new bit for this wonderful weekly show. Every day there's a new Smash Bros. Screenshot, and every week we're going to pick our favorite screenshot of the week. So without further ado,
here's the screenshot of the day. Look at this screenshot, this wonderful screenshot today.
Just that character and or background. So yeah, that's it for this episode, but we have a lot more planned, and you, people watching on whatever you're watching on, let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about. Obviously, we're going to go through the characters. Obviously, we're going to go through the stages. Obviously, we're going to just talk about whatever we feel like, but if you have a specific topic you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. Also, like this video, and subscribe to our channel, and do all of that stuff that every YouTube video tells you to do, because it's a good idea. And otherwise, that's it, and be sure to check back next week for more Smash Bros. Wii U news.